How did people stay warm in medieval castles during the coldest winter? Life inside a northern European castle, 14th century. Hello guys, today we will know about how people lived, worked, and stayed warm inside medieval castles during the coldest winters. This story is calm and slow, meant to quiet the mind, and gently guide you towards sleep. Tonight, we travel back to the 14th century, to a stone castle in northern Europe, where winter nights were long, and warmth was never certain. The castle stands on a low hill, surrounded by mist and bare trees. Snow gathers along its walls, pressing softly against cold stone. The sky is heavy, dark even before night fully arrives. Winter has settled deeply into the land. This is not a tale of kings alone. It is about ordinary people, servants, guards, cooks, children. Lives lived quietly within thick walls, enduring cold with patience and routine. Outside the castle walls, the town lies still. Streets are narrow and cobbled, uneven beneath thin layers of ice. Fog drifts slowly between buildings. Oil lamps flicker faintly, their light weak against the dark. Carts no longer move at this hour. Horses stand steaming in stables. Shop doors are shut tight. Cold drives everyone inward. Within the castle gate, stone arches echo softly. Footsteps sound hollow, slow. The air smells of damp stone and smoke. Every breath feels heavy and cold. Castles are strong, but not warm. Stone holds cold fiercely. Walls are thick, but they chill easily. Winter enters quietly and stays. There are no fires everywhere. Fuel is precious. Only certain rooms are warmed. Others remain cold all season. The great hall is the heart of the castle. High ceiling, wide space. A large hearth burns there, day and night in winter. Its warmth spreads slowly, never fully filling the room. Wood crackles softly. Smoke rises toward the roof, escaping through high vents. The fire gives light as well as heat. Shadows move gently across stone walls. Servants pass through the hall quietly, carrying bread, bowls, small bundles of wood. Their clothing is simple, wool tunics, worn and patched. Cloaks pulled tight against the cold. They walk quickly. Movement creates warmth. Standing still lets cold settle into bones. Everyone knows this. The floor is bare stone. Cold even near the fire. Rushes or straw are scattered across it, replaced when they rot or smell too strongly. Benches line the walls. Wooden tables stand ready for meals. Nothing is ornate here. Everything is practical. Meals are simple in winter. Dark bread, baked from coarse grain. Thick porridge, cooked slowly over the hearth. Sometimes a small portion of meat, salted and shared carefully. Hot food matters. It warms the body from within. Even a thin stew can bring comfort. Especially on cold nights. People eat close together. Sharing space, sharing warmth. Conversation is quiet. Energy is saved. Above the great hall are chambers. Private rooms for lords and officials. Even these are cold. Stone walls allow little mercy. Beds are placed away from outer walls, closer to interior stone. Curtains hang around them. Heavy cloth to trap warmth. These bed curtains create a small enclosed space. Heat from bodies stays inside. Blankets are layered thickly. Wool upon wool. Servants sleep elsewhere. In shared rooms, in corners of hallways. On straw pallets. Often near kitchens or bakeries where heat lingers. The kitchen is one of the warmest places. Fires burn there almost constantly. Bread ovens glow faintly. Steam rises from pots and kettles. Cooks work early and late. Their hands red from heat and cold. They wear heavy aprons, wool sleeves rolled down. Even here, winter presses close. Children of servants help where they can. Fetching water, carrying small loads of wood. Sweeping floors, turning spits. Their days are shaped by cold and duty. Some children attend simple lessons, taught by clergy or literate servants. Learning prayers, letters, counting. Often in unheated rooms. They wear the same clothes indoors and out. Wool gowns, leggings, simple shoes. Clothing is mended often. Replaced rarely. Guards patrol the walls day and night. Their breath visible in the air. Hands stiff around spear shafts. Metal cold against skin. They wear layered garments beneath mail. Wool padding. Thick cloaks. Movement keeps them warm. Stillness is dangerous in winter. At night, guards shelter in gatehouses. Small fires burn there. Just enough to keep fingers working. Never enough for comfort. The coldest places are towers and corridors. Long stone passages. Wind creeping through narrow slits. Frost forming on walls. Servants hurry through these spaces. Heads down, cloaks tight. No one lingers. Cold steals strength quickly. Outside the castle, the town continues its quiet life. Market stalls open briefly during daylight. Farmers bring small wagons. Carrying grain, firewood, vegetables stored from autumn. Horses move slowly through snow. Hooves slipping on stone. Drivers wrap scarves high around faces. Every journey is shorter in winter. Shops close early. Dark comes fast. Lamp oil is saved. Candles burned sparingly. Street labor continues when possible. Clearing snow, repairing damage. Men work with numb hands. Paid little, enduring much. Back inside the castle, evening deepens. The great hall grows quieter. The fire burns lower. Ashes are pulled over embers to preserve heat. People prepare for sleep. No elaborate routines. Just blankets, cloaks, straw. Warmth gathered carefully. Sleeping fully clothed is common. Tunics, hose, sometimes cloaks. Nothing removed without need. Cold is always near. In shared sleeping spaces. Bodies lie close. Heat shared silently. A practical kindness. The stone walls creak softly as temperature shifts. Wind presses against them. Snow piles high outside. The castle endures without complaint. Late at night, the cold deepens. This is the hardest hour. Fires burn lowest. Stone releases its stored chill. People wake briefly. Pull blankets closer. Shift toward warmth. Then sleep again. The great hall fire is checked by a servant. A log added quietly. No sparks wasted. The flame settles again. Even in winter's grip, routine brings calm. Everyone knows what to do. How to endure. Morning comes slowly. Not with warmth. Only with pale light. Filtering through narrow windows. Cold remains. But life resumes. Fires are stirred. Work begins again. Servants rise early. Sweeping ash, fetching water. Preparing simple meals. Hands stiff, movements slow. Children wake reluctantly. Faces flushed from shared warmth. Feet cold on stone floors. They move quickly to the hearth. Guards change shifts. Stomping feet to restore feeling. Breath clouding the air. Another watch begun. The castle never truly warms in winter. It only survives it. Through fire, clothing, closeness. And habit learned over generations. Stone walls are harsh. But they protect from wind. From snow. From sudden change. People do not complain loudly. Cold is expected. Endured quietly. Like hunger, like fatigue. Life continues in small movements. Carried by routine. By shared spaces. By patience. As night returns again. Fires glow once more. The great hall fills with shadow. Voices soften. Meals repeat. Bread, porridge, thin stew. Steam rising gently. Warmth returning briefly. And again, people prepare for sleep. Gathering what warmth they can. Trusting stone and fire. Trusting morning to return. The coldest winters do not defeat them. They slow them. They quiet them. They teach endurance. And as you listen now, as your breathing slows, you may rest within this rhythm. This ancient patience. The fire crackles softly. Stone stands firm. Snow falls outside. And sleep arrives gently. No urgency. No noise. Only warmth gathered close. And night passing, slowly, steadily, endlessly. The winter tightens its hold as night deepens, and the castle grows quieter still. Stone corridors empty, footsteps fade. Only the soft crackle of distant fires remains. Cold settles into every surface. In the lower halls, servants move carefully. They carry embers from one hearth to another. Wrapped in thick cloth, heads lowered. Each ember is precious. The castle kitchens remain awake longer than most places. Bread must be baked. Porridge kept warm. Water heated again and again. Large pots hang over low fires. Steam rises slowly. The smell of grain and smoke fills the air. It clings to hair and wool. Cooks work close to the flames, turning slowly. Hands numb one moment, burning the next. Winter makes no balance easy. When the fires are finally banked, ash pulled carefully over glowing coals. The kitchen dims. Warmth retreats but does not vanish. Servants sleep nearby, on straw pallets laid close to ovens, wrapped in cloaks and spare cloth. This place is warmer than most. Elsewhere in the castle, rooms remain bitterly cold. Storerooms, armories, stair towers. Frost sometimes forms along stone edges. Breath shows clearly in the air. In these spaces, nothing lingers. No one rests. Cold drives people onward, toward whatever warmth can be found. In the upper chambers, curtains around beds are drawn tight. Heavy wool hangs still, trapping breath and body heat, creating a small shelter within stone walls. People sleep close to one another. Parents and children together. Servants sharing space. Privacy sacrificed for warmth. Hot stones are sometimes wrapped in cloth, heated near the hearth before sleep. Placed carefully beneath blankets. They release warmth slowly through the night. Water jugs are kept near fires, never left to freeze. Ice means more work, more cold to endure. Clothing is layered even in bed. Shirts beneath tunics. Tunics beneath cloaks. Wool against skin. Stockings are worn to sleep. Feet grow cold first. Cold feet mean restless nights. This is well understood. In the deepest winter, even nobles wear simple clothes indoors. Decoration matters less than warmth. Gold and silk offer no comfort here. Only wool and fur endure. Guards along the walls stamp their feet. Pace back and forth. Movement keeps blood flowing. Stillness invites pain. They retreat often to guard rooms. Small fires burning low. Helmets set aside briefly. Hands warmed before returning to the cold. Outside the walls, the town lies hushed beneath snow. Market stalls stand empty. Carts are frozen in place. Only smoke marks life within houses. Townfolk crowd into their own homes. Small rooms, low ceilings. Hearths burning constantly. Everyone drawn inward. Children in the town help carry fuel. Small arms burdened with wood. Faces red from cold. Learning endurance early. Some attend lessons when weather allows. Held in churches or small halls. Breath visible as they recite words. Ink thickened by cold. Inside the castle, bells mark the hours softly. Sound carries far in the still air. Time moves slowly. Measured by fire and fatigue. Late in the night, snow begins to fall again. Silent, steady. It presses against walls, adding weight and quiet. The castle seems to sink deeper into the land. Its stone chilled. Its people hushed. Everything held still. Those asleep shift closer to warmth. Blankets drawn higher. Bodies curl inward. Cold nudged away for a while longer. A servant wakes briefly. Checks the great hall fire. Adds a single log. Then disappears again into shadow. The flame answers softly. Light trembles on stone. Then settles. Calm restored. This is how warmth is kept. Not through comfort, but through attention. Through routine repeated without thought. Winter does not end quickly here. It lingers. Testing patience. Testing habit. But the castle endures. And the people within it endure as well. Day by day, night by night. Through shared effort. As the hours pass, the cold reaches its deepest point. Stone releases the last of its warmth. This is the hardest time. Yet fires still glow faintly. Clothing still layers the body. People still sleep. Enough. Slowly, almost unnoticed. The night begins to ease. Not warmer yet. Just less sharp. Morning will come again. As it always does. And with it, another careful tending of fire. Another quiet day of endurance. For now, the castle rests. Stone silent. Fires breathing low. Lives held together by patience. And as you listen, as your thoughts grow still, you may rest in this same calm rhythm, where nothing rushes, and warmth is gathered gently. The coldest hours arrive quietly, without warning, without sound. This is the deep night inside the castle. When even stone seems to tighten. Wind presses hard against the outer walls. And frost creeps along the narrow slits where light enters by day. Inside the great hall, the fire burns low. Only red embers glow beneath a layer of ash. The vast space feels larger now, emptier. Warmth gathers only near the hearth. Servants sleep nearby. Wrapped in cloaks, lying on straw pallets. Their bodies turn toward the fading heat. Movement slow, careful. Stone pillars rise into darkness above them. Cold settles along their surfaces. The air near the ceiling is colder than below. Everyone knows to stay low. In the chambers above, sleep is light. Blankets pulled high. Curtains drawn tight around beds. Creating a small pocket of warmth. Breath is visible in the air. Especially near outer walls. People turn inward. Faces hidden beneath wool and fur. The castle does not sleep as one body. Someone is always awake. A guard, a servant. A watchman. Listening, watching, tending fire. In a side room near the kitchen, a small hearth is checked. A hand hovers over the embers. Feeling for life. Feeling for heat. A thin piece of wood is added. No more than needed. The flame answers softly. Then settles again. This careful tending repeats through the night. Hour after hour. Without complaint. Without pause. In stair towers, cold is strongest. Stone spirals carry wind upward. Frost forms along the steps. No one rests here. Those who pass move quickly. Hands tucked inside sleeves. Heads lowered. Every step taken with purpose. In storage rooms, water skins are kept near warmth. Never left alone. Frozen water means broken skins. More labor, more cold. Food stores are watched closely. Grain sacks stacked away from damp walls. Meat hung where air moves but frost cannot reach. Winter demands care in everything. Outside, snow deepens against the castle walls. Adding weight. Adding insulation. The cold presses, but slowly. Inside, the castle delays winter. It cannot defeat it. Only slow it. Hour by hour. Children sleep curled together. Often two to a bed. Their warmth shared instinctively. Their dreams quiet. They are used to cold. Born into stone and winter. Taught early to endure. Without question. In the town beyond the walls, homes glow faintly. Small hearth fires visible through shutters. People sleep close. As they do inside the castle. The entire land rests under winter's grip. Farms silent. Fields buried. Life paused but not gone. Inside the castle, silence deepens. Only the faint sound of fire remains. A soft crackle. A steady breath. This is the hour when stone feels heaviest. When cold seeps deepest. When patience matters most. Everyone knows it. People wake briefly. Pull blankets closer. Shift nearer to warmth. Then sleep again. No one complains. No one calls out. Cold is endured quietly. As it always has been. The fire is checked once more. A final log added. Not to warm the hull. Only to keep life alive until dawn. The flame glows a little brighter. Light trembles along the walls. Then fades back into stillness. Balance restored. The night holds. Dark, slow. Unmoving. But already weakening. Stone has given all the warmth it can. Now it waits. Just as people wait. For morning. And slowly, very slowly. The cold stops growing sharper. It lingers. But it no longer advances. The hardest part has passed. Even if no one knows it yet. The body senses it first. A quiet easing. Sleep grows deeper again. Breathing slows. Muscles loosen slightly. Rest returns. The castle remains still. Fires breathing low. Walls standing firm. Lives held together. And in this deep winter silence. With no sound but embers and breath. You may rest too. Held within this ancient patience. Nothing must be done now. Nothing must be decided. The cold is held back just enough. And the night continues, gently, steadily, and without fear. The night begins to loosen its grip on the castle, not with warmth, but with a subtle change in stillness. This is the hour before dawn, when cold no longer sharpens. It remains present, but it stops pressing forward. Stone senses it first, then breath, then sleep. Inside the great hall, the embers rest quietly. Still alive, still faithful. Their glow faint but steady. Enough to promise morning. Those sleeping near the hearth shift slightly. Not waking, only adjusting. Blankets drawn closer. Warmth gathered instinctively. In the chambers above, bed curtains remain closed. Heavy cloth hanging still. Holding pockets of warm air inside. Protecting sleep from the last reach of cold. The castle is silent now in a deeper way. Not empty, but balanced. No footsteps, no voices. Only breath and waiting. Guards in the gatehouse pause their pacing. Leaning closer to the small fire. Feeling the cold ease just a little. They know this moment well. Outside the walls, the wind has fallen silent. Snow rests where it landed. The sky holds its breath. Waiting for light. Inside, servants wake briefly out of habit. Not because they must. But because winter has taught them awareness. A glance at the fire, a touch of warmth, then rest again. The cold stones of the floor feel less biting now. Still cold, but familiar. Feet tucked beneath wool. Bodies protected by layers and closeness. Children sleep on. Their breathing even. Their warmth pooled together. Unaware of the turning hour. Elders stir slightly. Their sleep lighter. Years of winters have taught them this rhythm. They trust it without thought. The castle has done its work. It has delayed the cold long enough. Held the night in balance. Protected those inside. Smoke begins to lift more easily toward the roof. Drawn upward by changing air. A sign known only to habit. Morning approaches. No bells ring yet. No shutters open. The castle remains closed to the world. Rest still allowed. This is the quietest hour. When effort pauses. When endurance rests. Before life begins again. Stone walls feel less tense. As if releasing a long-held breath. They have stood through frost and wind. And they remain standing. Soon, someone will rise. Brush ash from embers. Offer breath to flame. And warmth will return more fully. But not yet. For now, there is still darkness. Still calm. Still enough heat to sleep. The hardest part of the night has passed. Without noise. Without struggle. Only patience. And as this final stretch of winter night fades. As the cold loosens without retreating fully. You may remain here too. Resting in this ancient stillness. Breathing slow. Thoughts drifting away. Stone holding steady. Fire waiting. Nothing presses in. Nothing demands attention. The castle rests. And the night continues gently, quietly, until morning arrives. The first hint of morning does not arrive as warmth, it arrives as release. The cold no longer deepens, it simply remains, then begins to loosen. Inside the castle, the air feels steadier, less sharp. The night has finished its hardest work. Embers still glow beneath the ash in the great hall. Quiet, patient, enduring. They have lasted through the longest hours. Through stone and silence. A servant wakes fully now, not suddenly, not with urgency. Only with awareness. A sense learned through many winters. That it is time to tend the fire again. Ash is brushed aside carefully. A slow breath is given. A faint flame returns. Then another. Wood is added sparingly. Thin pieces first. Warmth begins to spread. Not rushing, never rushing. Light from the fire touches the stone walls. Shadows soften. The vast hall feels less empty. More human. Others begin to stir. Blankets shift. Bodies stretch slightly. Sleep loosens its hold. In upper chambers, bed curtains are open just a little. Not fully. Enough to let warmer air move. Enough to welcome morning gently. Children wake slowly. Faces warm from shared sleep. Feet cold against stone floors. They move closer to the hearth without being told. Adults sit up carefully. Joints stiff from cold and rest. Hands held toward the growing fire. Feeling life return gradually. The castle breathes again. Smoke lifts more easily now. Finding its path upward. The air itself seems lighter. Outside the walls, the world remains pale and cold. Snow still lies thick. The sky is quiet. But the worst has passed. Breakfast is prepared simply. Bread cut. Porridge stirred slowly. Steam rising gently into the air. Warm food carries warmth into the body. Strength returns. Not quickly. But surely. People eat close together. Sharing benches. Sharing heat. Sharing silence. No one speaks of the night. There is no need. It has been endured. As so many nights before it. Guards return from the walls. Stamping feet softly. Hands numb but moving. Another watch completed. The castle does not celebrate survival. It accepts it quietly. Through habit. Through routine. Work will begin again soon. Floors swept. Water fetched. Animals tended. But for this moment. There is warmth. There is light. There is rest enough. The stone walls still hold the night's memory. Cold lingers within them. But fire answers steadily. Balance is restored. Winter remains outside. Unfinished. Unmoved. But held at a distance once more. And as morning settles into the castle. As warmth grows slowly and surely. You may remain here in this calm. Within this ancient rhythm. Breathing slow. Thoughts fading. The fire steady. The cold quiet. Nothing calls for haste. Nothing demands effort. The day waits patiently. And rest may continue, gently, steadily, without end. The morning continues to unfold quietly inside the castle, without sound to command it. Light remains pale and thin, slipping through narrow openings. Stone still feels cool to the touch. But warmth is returning, slowly, patiently. Servants move through the great hall again. Their steps soft on straw-covered floors. Brooms sweep ash and dust into small piles. Nothing hurried, nothing wasted. The fire is fed once more. Not heavily. Just enough. Flames rise and settle. Learning the shape of the day. In the kitchens, pots are set back over low heat. Water warms, grain thickens. The smell of simple food fills the air. Familiar, grounding, steady. Bread is broken by hand. Pieces passed quietly. No table is loud in winter. Voices stay low to save breath and warmth. Children sit close to the hearth. Hands extended toward the fire. Their lessons will wait for warmer hours. Winter decides the pace. Some children help carry small bundles of wood. Others fetch water from inner wells. Their work is light, but constant. Learning endurance early. Guards remove heavy cloaks near the fire. Mail laid aside briefly. Fingers stiff, faces calm. Another night endured without remark. The corridors remain cold. Stone never forgets winter quickly. People pass through them briskly. Lingering only where warmth gathers. In storerooms, supplies are checked again. Grain sacks dry. Salted meat intact. Winter demands attention every day. Outside the walls, the town begins to stir. Smoke rises from clustered roofs. Carts creak slowly through snow. Horses move carefully on icy stones. Markets open briefly in the pale light. Stalls small and close together. People trade quietly. Hands red from cold. Back inside the castle, work continues gently. Clothing is mended near the fire. Needles move slowly through thick wool. Every garment precious. The warmth spreads only so far. Stone limits it. But bodies remember heat from the night. And carry it forward. The memory of cold lingers in muscles. Movements remain measured. Winter teaches restraint. Energy is never wasted here. By midday, the castle feels awake. Not warm, but alive. The fire steady. The people steady. The coldest hours are behind them now. Though winter itself remains. Held back by routine. By shared knowledge. As the day moves on, nothing changes quickly. Life inside the castle never does. It continues at the same slow pace. Stone and fire setting the rhythm. And as you listen, as your breathing stays slow and even, you may remain within this calm. This unhurried endurance. The fire breathes softly. Stone stands firm. Voices remain low. And time moves gently forward. Nothing presses for attention. Nothing calls for haste. The castle holds its quiet warmth. And rest lingers, steady, patient, and complete.